appreciate it. Thank you, guys. He said, my name's Anthony Brown. I want to stop and thank Dr. Brian for being able to have me here. It's a great opportunity. I don't take it lightly. When you go inside of different environments, you just never know kind of what you're walking into. And sometimes that can be nerve-wracking. Sometimes that can cause anxiety. But when I walked into the room, my boy Steve over here asked me what I majored in. And I said to myself, these are my people. These are my people, because I walked in and immediately I felt 10 years younger with him asking me what I majored in. So I appreciate that. I'm going to kind of put everyone on the spot for just a second. I don't need you to introduce yourself. I just want to know what everyone is majoring in. So we'll start with you. Just need your major.
Engineering.
Engineering.
Political science and history.
Love it.
Business. Visual arts.
Mechanical engineering.
Very nice. Okay.
Automobile engineering.
Love it.
Depends on my studies.
Okay. English.
Computer science.
Computer science. Nursing. Okay. I know yours, but you have to say it anyway. Education. Psychology. Awesome. Okay. So like Dr. Brian was saying, for me, in my history, my background, I feel like you guys have so many societal pressures that you're surrounded by that want to dictate what success means to you guys. Now I'm going to put myself in the spot a little bit. I want you guys to guess at what you think that I do. Anyone can, no offense is going to be taken. You could say I'm like a veterinarian. It doesn't matter. What do you guys think that I do?
I thought I heard somewhere real estate.
Yes, that's one of them. Anyone else want to take a guess? Business, author. Something related. That's a good observation. I like it. So I kind of do all of it. One of the things that I want you guys to see and understand, and Juliana made a really, really good point, and I really liked the point that she brought up, because when he talked about the interview, the question she brought was, how should we come dressed? Okay? And what I don't think a lot of us realize is the critical thinking when it comes to think about those questions to ask and how important they are. Okay? I didn't have to come in here in a suit today. I could have come here in sweats and a sweatshirt, and probably would have been more relatable to you guys, right? This is how I dress every day in the work that I do, because I do real estate. I'm a broker with about 40 agents. So I do business and things like that. And so what I want you guys to really focus on and realize when it comes to success is that you don't need the watches, you don't need the cars, you don't need the suits, you don't need all these things that are an outward appearance to make you successful. And we have so many people in our society, so all these celebrities and all these people who glorify these different things that kind of trick us into thinking that we need these things to become successful. To Juliana's point, I didn't need to wear a suit here, but what you need to realize is that the way that you appear in the room that you walk into is a direct intention of what you want to do while you're there. So though I didn't need to wear a suit, my intention of being here is that I want to be presentable to you guys. Out of respect for you guys and your time and allowing me to come to speak to you, I wanted to show you that I'm serious about what I'm coming here, what I'm representing, and who I am. So, don't get caught up in the mindset that I have to have this or that or the other, and the businessman who's successful wears a Rolex. That's a false priesthood when it comes to that. It's not true. The thing about me is I walked in this room with a suit on. I have a 9th grade education. I did not finish high school. I did not go get my GED. I have not been inside of a college. Would any of you have guessed that? Okay. Success cannot be defined by societal influences. They can't be assumed by the people around you, because you never know who you're in the presence of. With my lack of education, I've been homeless. I've been a waiter. I've washed cars. The amount of things that have gotten me to the point where I'm at, a lot of people wouldn't believe. And so what I want you guys to really, really take in today is that in a world who wants to form you and mold you into what they think you should be, you have to follow your own heart, follow your own dreams. Sometimes that's not going to make mom and dad happy. Sometimes that's not going to make your friends happy. Sometimes that's not going to make the people around you feel like you're making the best decisions. And one of the things in the coaching program that I teach to all my coachees is that the name of my coaching program is called the 1%. Can anyone in here guess what the top 1% earners in America make? You just guess. You don't have to be exact. What do you think the top 1% earners in the United States make? Think it's $1 million? You think it's, what do you guys think it is?
50K.
50K?
The top one?
The top 1%. Yes.
Billion.
Okay.
A lot of digits.
A lot of digits? Okay. A lot of digits. Okay. And that's the thing that I want you to bring out to you guys is the top 1% earners only make around $380,000 a year. So why do we think that someone who is successful has to be a millionaire? It's like, to be in the top 1% of people who make money in the United States is 300. I believe I have to do my research again, but it's $380,000 last I checked. So already out the gate, you guys are already basically set up to fail because you're thinking, in order to be wealthy, in order to be rich, I have to be a millionaire. I need to make $400,000 a year. Very doable. And a lot of the subjects you guys are studying to major in, 400K is going to be easy for some of you. Not so much for some others, but I doubt you're doing what you're doing for money anyway. So I just want you guys to think that a lot of the things that are wrapped in the way that we do things on an everyday, a lot of it is a facade. A lot of it is fake. We have Instagram, we have all these social media websites and things like that that are making out to be like, if you don't have six-pack and you're not an Instagram model and you don't have, Mercedes and these different kind of things, that you're not successful. And that's just not simply true. Success is subjective, okay? For me, success is that I work a job and a career that allows me to only be forced to be in my office 3 days a week. The other 2 days, I'm home with my children who are homeschooled, I have the ability to be there for. I worked a corporate job at Mercedes where I was a service drive manager and worked from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Made 6 figures. It was great. Money's great, right? They say it's the root of all evil. It's not really true. It's the love of money is the root of all evil. And so it's subjective. Some people want to make 6 figures. They want to be a millionaire. They want to make all this money and these different things. There's nothing wrong with that. That's their definition of what success is. Your definition of success is that you want to start a nonprofit organization that helps single moms be able to have home placement. If you make $43,000 a year doing just that and you're happy, you are now successful. So don't let these outside voices get in your head. Don't let these outside things come in and try to mold you in something that you don't want to be. Statistics speak volumes. The people who are rich are usually the most miserable. People who are rich are usually people who are the most paranoid. They battle the highest suicide rate. So you have all these factors that come in with these things that I just want you guys to have a different perspective and a different outlook on. Who here can tell me what my address is? My home address. Can anyone here tell me what my home address is? If you can guess it, I might be kind of weirded out, but it's okay. Can anyone tell me my address?
You can't.
Other than Tiana.
And her.
Oh, because she has yours. Okay. Right. Okay. So no one, it's kind of a weird question, right? Like, well, why would we know your address? Same thing applies to you guys. There is no one that should be able to dictate and tell you what your address is to life. They can't dictate where you lay your head, what your passions are, where you're going to go in life. And so if I come here kind of like seat in my pants. Like I'm a very unprepared person when it comes to things like this because I want to adapt to the environment. I want it to be relatable to you guys. And so for me, there was only one word that came to mind when I came to speak to you guys, and that was direction. If there's anything that I want you guys to remember out of this entire conversation that I have with you guys, is direction. You guys can't even tell me the direction of where my home is without me explaining that to you. And so there's people who's going to come and they're going to try to kind of manipulate you and try to force and push you to different directions that you may not be comfortable with. There's going to be people, like I said, from the societal pressure of trying to get you to do things, of what their definition of success is. In modern times, this is just my opinion, I think the definition of success is, finishing high school, going to college, getting a major, going straight into a career, buying your first house, maybe buying a dog, having a kid, and then life goes on, right? The conformity of that is going to be different for everyone. The ideology of what we feel like we need to do to become successful is going to be different for everyone. And that's why the slogan of my company is redefining success. Success to me is doing what you love every single day, day in, day out, walking with purpose, walking with intentionality of why you're doing what you're doing, no matter if you make six figures or not, and doing what you love every single day. That's not to say that we don't all need to make a living and that we all have bills. That's a part of life. It's a part of growing up. I think Tiana's figured that out very well here recently. So it's just a part of life, of the things that we're faced with. So can you guys give me examples, anyone who's brave enough to give me an example of what you feel like has been a past success for you? Could be last week, 5 years ago, whatever.
Public speaking.
Public speaking. We got a public speaker. I like it. It's hard, guys. It's not easy. Sir.
Recently, I was told that I received a certificate of mastering in leadership, and that's honestly huge for me.
That's amazing. Congratulations. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's
I'm
good.
getting into a mentorship program at my church.
That's awesome. Mentorship is very, 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 very important.
To be able to be on the same line with homeless and street kids.
Very, very good. Very nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Anyone else? Got one?
Living with family and coming here, be your own, and take care of yourself.
Wow. Well, did you guys hear that? Leaving your home, leaving your family to come and try to find success somewhere else. That's huge. That's very, very huge. That's awesome. So, I mean, like I said, as I'm kind of wrapping up, because I just wanted to just be like an open conversation, open dialect, and kind of just talk to you guys and encourage you. There's going to be things that happen in life that seem unfair. There's going to be things that happen in life that try to redirect your path. One thing that I can tell you guys is that everything that I've faced has brought me to this very moment standing in front of you now. Every obstacle and hurdle that I've had to get through to get to where I'm at has brought me here. So don't sit there and think that life and your journey and the things that you walk through is going to be this mapped out, planned out, surety thing. Life's going to throw you curves. There's going to be obstacles that you're faced with that you have to come into agreement and say, I can look at this as an opportunity, or I can look at this as something to complain and be negative about. We all have something to complain about. We all have things. We've all have past. We all had, probably rough childhoods. We all have obstacles that we've had to overcome, and we can use those as stepping stones, or we can use those as stumbling blocks. So, in saying that, I just really want you guys to understand and to know that in a world that tells us and tries to dictate who we are, you can be whatever and whoever you want to be. You can be the person who I would have never in my life imagined dropping out at the 9th grade of high school, that I would be standing in front of college students. I think you guys understand the irony and what it means to me and why it's such an honor to be contacted by Dr. Brian, to be here in front of you today, because education is something I greatly wanted. Education was something that I did not want to sacrifice. But due to my circumstances with my childhood and due to my circumstances with the things that I was faced with at that age, I had choices to make. And so there are ways to gain education outside of the structure of a school. There are ways, life's going to teach you a ton of lessons. Life's going to teach you, I call it the school of hard knocks. And you have to take what you learn and you have to apply it, and you have to understand that we all have choices, we all have decisions to make. I tell the people that I speak to, from the time of I believe 17 and older are going to be the choices that you make are going to define the rest of your life. And we're at this age where we're kind of like, I have all this time, and I can have time to kind of fool around. But the choices you make from the age of 17 on, you may not know that now, but later in life you're going to understand the choices you make from 17 on are going to dictate some of the areas you're able to go in your life. And so stay connected with the people that you have who are going to push you and make you better. One of the things that has really propelled me into the areas that I've gone into is having mentors. The only cheat, the only shortcut to success is mentorship. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no Instagram algorithm, no TikTok algorithm. There's no cheat code, nothing. The only shortcut to success is mentorship, because you are sitting in front of someone who has had life experience, who knows the struggles that you're going through, and they can help you navigate those areas and hopefully the potential. And I think what Dr. Brian's intentions is to help you avoid a lot of the mistakes that we have made. And so, don't take it as, people trying to be hard on you, or don't be quick to be sensitive to correction. For me, the thing that I grasped to was, I want to be told what I'm doing wrong as soon as possible, so I can get past it and move on to the next thing. So something that I think that is not taken consideration enough in today's times is criticism. Criticism means that someone cares enough to tell you that, hey, I think this could be done better. And what we have to do as individuals is we have to take that information in, dissect it, comprehend it. Okay, is what this person's saying true? No. Don't water a seed that's not true. Move on with life. But the other section of what they said may be true. Maybe I should look into that. Maybe that's something I need to dissect in my life. You could even go back to the person and say, hey, I don't necessarily believe the first portion of what you said about this situation, but something that you said did stick out to me, and I wanted to let you know that. Could you elaborate on that a little bit more? Then they're able to explain themselves. Then you're able to learn, and you're able to grow. So mentorship, I love this group. I love what you guys are doing here. It's so important. And the thing about it is that we live in a society where leaders want to be seen. Leaders want their own ego trip. They want all of the validation. True leaders do not create followers. I'm going to say that again. True leaders do not create followers. True leaders create other leaders. So as you guys go through this course in life, as you guys go through school, as you guys go through this mentorship program, and you're amongst your people and your peers, don't take this lightly. This is an opportunity for you to learn and to absorb. And hopefully one day soon, with the public speaking and things like that, you'll be able to pour into other people, and you'll create an additional leader. And that cycle will go on and on. And some of the cycles that we're faced with will hopefully end, but it starts with us and the seeds that are planted inside of us. So I just want to, thank you guys for listening. I know I can talk and I'm kind of boring sometimes. I appreciate it. I want to congratulate you guys and give you guys your flowers. Tiana's talked to me about a few of you. Dr. Brian spoke very highly of all of you. Just hearing some of the majors you guys are in, some of the things you guys are faced with, some of the successes you guys have come across. I'm proud of you guys. I don't even know you. I'm proud to be even standing in the room with you guys and amongst you, because I know that you guys are going to go out there and you're going to do great things. And so don't take it lightly. Understand that success is defined by you. Success is not defined by the society and what they make it out to be. You can be whatever you want to be. And so as you guys go out through life and you guys go throughout your day and you're redefining what success means to you, I encourage you guys to slow down from time to time and say, okay, am I walking with intentionality? Why am I doing what I'm doing? There's a saying that I have that says, if you don't walk with purpose, everything you do is by accident. I can't afford to live my life with accidents. I can't afford to live my life walking through there without purpose and intentionality. And so a lot of times people say, look, but the way you're dressed and the way you walk and talk, you're kind of intimidating. And I say, look, I'm sorry, that's not my intention at all. But I'm walking in the direction that I'm going because I know what I'm going there for. I know what I'm going there to do. The best thing that you will ever learn in life is your why, your reason why. My job is that I'm a real estate agent, that I'm a business owner, that I'm an author, that I'm these things. That's my job. That pays the bills. My work is helping people overcome their limiting beliefs. The name of my book, it's called I Can't. And you guys can see here the T is crossed out because you can. And life is really good at causing trauma. Life's really good at telling us all the reasons why we can't do something. But the same mind that tells you you can't, with intentionality, with setting yourself in groups and with mentorships, that same mind can tell you that you can do everything that you put your mind to. The quickest way to get me to do something is tell me that I can't. And that has to be your mindset when it comes to these things. You can do whatever you set your mind to. You can do whatever you set your mind to. You just have to put forth effort and consistency. That's the key. That's a recipe to life. You want something, put it in a goal checklist form, even if it's large goals. If it's a large goal, break those goals down into smaller goals. And when you wake up every single day and you're going there and you're checking stuff off your list, what is that going to do? That's going to cause you to abide by a checklist that becomes a habit. What's the saying? Did you guys know the saying of what habits create? Habits create character. When you get up every single day and you're marking stuff off your checklist of the things that you want to achieve in life, you're creating character. You're creating consistency. You're creating discipline. The problem, and I teach about this a lot, is we all are so creatures of motivation. And that's where I think a lot of people go wrong. Motivation is dangerous. I don't even like the word. Because if I only did things that when I'm motivated, I probably wouldn't be here today. It was cold, y'all. I didn't want to get out of bed. It's like 17 degrees. I'm out here in thin pants, the wind blowing through them. If I was going off just pure motivation, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't went into my office and do the things that I need to do. But because I'm disciplined, I'm able to do the things that I get up and do every single day, even though I don't want to do them. So thank you guys so much for allowing me this opportunity. I can't wait to see the things that you guys do. I can't wait to see the futures that I know you guys have. I know that they're bright. I know that you're in good hands with Dr. Brian. And I can't wait to hear some success stories that you guys are going to have in the lives that you're going to change and lives that you're already changing. One thing you have to realize is that there's always this like futuristic I'm going to thing. And you guys don't even understand that you're impacting people around you right now. In this very moment, someone's watching you and you're encouraging them and you're motivating them to want to be disciplined to do what you're doing. You know how many people you're probably, Steve, that you're impacting to jump up and move your entire life to do what you're doing. You guys are impacting people. And so remember that as you walk the campus. Remember that as you walk through your daily lives and your work that, yes, I have a job, but what's my work? What's my why? Once you figure out your why, I'm telling you guys, that's when the magic happens. You don't do what he does every single day with groups like this for 10 years just because it's your job. That is his passion. That's his why of helping you guys navigate life. And that is the key to success, is understanding your why. Yes, your college education and your job and things you're going to be doing is going to be the thing that provides for you and provides for your family and pushes you to the next season of your life. But the work that you're doing is going to be that much more important when you get up and you go every single day. So when I go into my office every single day, yes, my job is to be responsible for 40 people and help them navigate the real estate world. But every single day, I use that as a platform for the life and business coach that I am to go in there and say, how can I make their lives better even outside of real estate? How can I make their lives better as just a human in general? And I think that if we take that approach with everything that we do, when you walk into a room, you should leave that room with everyone in that room feeling better about themselves, feeling like they can do something better, feeling like they can be more, feeling like they can do more. And you guys would be surprised how you can walk inside of a room and just smile, just smiling at someone. Statistics talk about the amount of times people get hugs. The numbers, I don't have them in front of me, but the numbers are astronomically low of the amount of times that people receive a hug from somebody and how much dopamine and different things and components intensify after they receive a hug from someone they care about a week. Or how when you approach someone and you smile, that can make someone's entire day. You never know what you're walking into or what people are going through when you're around them. So just take every opportunity you guys have with your college education, with life, with work, with the people and the peers you have around you, just with intentionality, and understand that success can be whatever you want it to be, and there's no shortcuts to this, guys. There's the mentorship, and people are going to want to help you excel to those areas, but there's no shortcut to this. So before I end completely, is there any questions, any statements, anything you guys want to kind of pick my brain about? I'm an open book. Yes, sir.
You mentioned having a corporate job, but you also said you never officially received your GED.
Yes.
How did you find that? Because I spend a lot of time like doom scrolling on ZipRecruiter and LinkedIn, so
Yeah.
and they have like massive requirements, and I'm just like, how?
So, yeah, and that's the thing. We live kind of in a society where they dictate what they deem as acceptable from an educational level. Though I didn't have a GED or a college education like that, that does not mean that I did not apply myself in other areas to become an educated person. So for me, I research. As long as I'm awake, I'm researching. I'm on ChatGPT, I'm on the internet, I'm Googling, I'm on YouTube University. I'm using all these different components. We live in a society now where everything is self-education. You could look up anything. And at one point, they told us, you'll never walk around with a calculator in your pocket. Look at us now. Look at us now. It's like we made it. We're here. So you literally have a computer in your pocket. So for me, I knew that I was not going to have traditional education at my disposal. And it wasn't because, I was wanting to goof off and go do this, that, and the other. The way my parents were pastors, we were poor. We had nothing. For 2 years, I was in shoes that were 3 sizes too small for me. So I did what I think any normal person would do, and I said, I got to get a job. At 15 years old, I went and got a work permit, started a job 15 and a half, and have been working every day since then. I did not want my education to be the thing that was compromised. Unfortunately, it was. So for me, it's just been application from that time forward of figuring out how can I become more educated. I didn't at the time have accessibility to the traditional way, but the non-traditional way was my journey. And it's kind of, like I said, what put me here in front of you guys today. So by becoming disciplined in my education outside of the traditional way, I put myself out there. Hey, so what? I don't have a GED. What's going to change that for me versus someone else? And so when I would get in front of people and I would talk to them, I became like, how do I become a better speaker? How do I make sure when I enter a room and I go to talk to the person that's going to be interviewing me, I'm making eye contact. I'm shaking their hand. I work on my handshake. How you shake someone's hand is important. Looking them in the eyes when you speak to them is important. Your body language is important. Confidence is everything. Because how are you going to convince someone else of your ability if you don't believe in your own ability? That doesn't mean sometimes we don't fake it. Sometimes you have to just fake it till you make it. No, I don't have the 100% surety that I'm going to this job because I don't have a GED, but I'm going to go in here and they're going to think that I do. You're going to think that I do. You're going to think that I'm a CEO somewhere and don't need this job. You're going to think that I'm overqualified by the time I get done with it. That's a mindset that you have to have when you go inside that interview. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, and the point that I'm trying to make is that you guys are faced with many different things. I was faced with many different things. I became a manager of Mercedes-Benz at 21 years old. I had 10 guys under me. The youngest guy that I had working for me was 67 years old. The guys that worked for me had already retired from careers. And here I am, this 21 punk, trying to tell them what to do. Talk about, I learned the most valuable lessons in life from that job and trying to get 10, 60 plus men to do what I wanted them to do when they're like, bro, you don't even know what life is yet. And you're going to try to come in here and tell me what to do. And so I hope you're answered your question. It's just applying yourself even when you can't get things the traditional way.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Is it any way we can have a book? Can we have a book, or there is a way to have it?
Yeah, I'll work on trying to get you guys a way to get you guys that. Let me work on that for you guys. Was there any other question? Yes, sir.
Maybe culturally, some of my brother will understand what I'm going to say now. All of us come from, again, different culture and different background of definition of success.
Mm-hmm.
Some of our culture don't define success. You don't define success according to you.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But you define success according to the impact that you make in your family and in your community.
Mm-hmm.
I can be, you know what, for me waking up every morning going sweeping people's house, for me that's a success.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes me happy. That's what I dream to do.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing gonna come back again to your community, to your family. You're a failure. You're not helping anything.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you put that together? Because you don't want to say, you know what, I want to be successful, I will forget my family, I'll forget my community.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, you're part of the community. So how you put your success in the same way to make the community, to get accepted by the community, or to get your impact in the community by your own success?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Okay, the first question, I'm gonna answer your question with a question. Who is your community?
It's the people around you.
Okay, so those people around you should care about you, right? We could all agree and say that. Those people around you would want you to be happy at what you do. That's your community. I hate to break it to you guys, and I hope I'm not overstepping boundaries when I say this. Sometimes that's not your family. The people that want to see you do good, the people who want to see you successful, sometimes it's just not your family. It's not my family. I'll be honest with you guys. I haven't spoken to my own parents in 5 years because I wanted more. That doesn't mean you have to cut your family off to be that, but the environment that I was raised in was the exact reason why things were taken from me, that I couldn't achieve those things. And so there's got to come a point in time where you make a decision that says, okay, the community that I want to impact, who is that community? What am I actually responsible for? So if let's say you want to go and define success your way, right? Let's say you get married, you have kids, whatever. You are no good to the people and to the community around you, miserable. You are no good to the community and the people around you, unmotivated, undisciplined, unfulfilled. You're going to wake up every single day, and you're going to live life just going through the motions. And us as men, we have to really, really, really get a grip and understand why we are in the thought patterns and processes that we are. Of why are we going through the emotions and through cycles? We get up, it's my responsibility to take care of my family today. I got to go to work, to a job that I hate, come home to the house a mess, the kids going crazy, laundry everywhere, wake up, go do it all over again, unmotivated, ain't been to the gym, not taking care of our bodies, our mental capacity and framework is complete trash. And then we expect our life to go in a certain direction and be plentiful and be successful when we're just going through the motions. And a lot of those times, that is us trying to please and appease other people by doing the things that we think they want us to do. And so for me, the way I would answer that question is you have to do what you have to do without compromise. You have to wake up every single day and say, okay, though they don't see this as a success, it's not your job to convince them of that. It's your job to be a functioning, life-fulfilling human being that's going to impact the people who are in your community and who you're responsible for. There's plenty of people who are sitting there thinking, who have judged me, like, you didn't have to quit school to go work. Like, come on, that's just an excuse. You didn't want to be diligent and do what you had to do. There's people who are going to be against that. There's been people who did not agree with the decision that I made to do that. There's going to be people who don't agree with the decisions that you make. At the end of the day, the mentorship that you're in, the counsel that you're around, the people who are in your life who are going to tell you, they're going to ask you certain questions. This is all about you and what you want in life and what you want the outcome of life to be. Does that make sense to those things? There's things that my parents didn't agree on. My dad's a pastor. He wanted me to be a pastor. I do not want to be a pastor. I don't. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't know what my work is and how I fulfill myself from a religious standpoint as I go into workforces and workplaces, and my demeanor and the person I am, that is how I reach people from a religious standpoint, wherever your religion is. So that's what I'm saying. The traditional way of doing that is to become a pastor and preach behind a pulpit every week. It's not for me. I'm going to go into the workforce and be able to impact more lives than I ever would behind a pulpit. That makes my dad not the happiest person. That's fine. Because what's going to happen, unfortunately, and this is kind of a harsh way to look at it, everyone dies, right? We all pass away at some point. I would really hate for anyone in this room to sit there and try to appease another person, and then the person who we wanted to please so bad unfortunately passes, and then we're looking at our life 30 years from now of like, what have I done? My whole life has been dedicated to pleasing another person. When I feel so unfulfilled, I feel like I'm going through the motions and nothing's happening for me. And I've seen it time after time where people look up and they call it the midlife crisis, where it was like, what am I been doing with life? That happens because you've gone through the motions of life and you've not walked with purpose and intentionality. Does that make sense? Does anyone else have questions?
How do you overcome the fear of failure?
You can't. You always fear failure. There's nothing you can do to overcome it. I was scared to come here and fail today. Failure is there's something we do with our family every single night at dinner, and we ask them, what was the worst part of their day, the best part of their day, where they seen God, and where they failed. I tell my kids, if you did not fail today, you did not try hard enough. You've been on cruise control all day long. Because when you go into something and you want to try something new, you're not going to be good at it. Straight out the gate. You're going to suck at it. You have to not be scared to suck for a while before you get to be good at something. And so for me, the way that I overcome that is that I want to get my failure rate out of the way as quick as possible. I know that I'm going to suck at this for a little while. But if I stay at it and I'm disciplined and I work at it over time for a number of years or a number of months, a number of weeks, I'm going to get better at it. I was not the best speaker for a time in my life. So I did what most people do not want to do. I got in the mirror and looked at myself and I spoke to myself. And I watched my body language. I watched the way that the facial expressions that I made when I spoke. And so there's the saying that I have to people when I answer that question is you have to fail forward. You're going to fail. Thomas Edison said, it's not that I'm smarter than anyone else. It's that I'm not scared to fail. I think they said it was the 1,000th prototype that he finally made that created the light bulb. Some of us are going to try 5 or 10 times and just give up. Do you guys know what we'd be doing right now if Thomas Edison gave up on the 5th time he created the light bulb? We'd all be here sitting here holding candles together. So you just gotta persevere, and you have to understand that we feel so judged by the outside people of viewing us as incapable or viewing us as stupid or not capable that we try to impress people. And so then that then encompasses us to not want to try things that we're bad at. And there's just a portion of time that you're just going to have to just unfortunately be bad at it. But you apply yourself and you push forward. There's going to be a time where, for me, like writing this book, guys, was the hardest thing. I have 4 kids. Writing this book was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Harder than raising any of my kids, writing that book. Why? Because I didn't have the education to sit down and the structure of knowing how to A, B, and C write a book. So then it took me a year and a half to come up with, I think, 10 chapters. Some people may see that as a failure. I don't. I see that as something I overcame. Because I guarantee you next time, the next book I'm going to write is going to be easier. So that just means that I overcame something that I've seen as a failure. Education has always been a pain point for me. It's always been an insecurity for me. Because I felt like I'm not qualified to walk into rooms and speak to people. I'm not qualified to to mentor anyone. I'm not qualified to educate anyone when I don't have an education. But I did, because I sought it outside of the traditional ways. So failure is always going to be a thing. You just have to learn how to just persevere through it, because it's going to happen. I mean, and if it's not happening, I would venture out to say that you guys aren't putting yourself out there enough. If you're not failing at something, you're not putting yourself out there enough. You're not setting big enough goals, big enough aspirations. We're probably over. So is that, any questions, anything else you guys have before I pass it off?
Where can you purchase the book?
It is on Amazon, but I'm going to figure out a way, because Steve gave me such a compliment when I came in here today. I'm going to figure out a way to maybe skate around Amazon and get you guys the book at a discounted cost.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for your time.